told you this would happen. Oh, I did, you know. If you remember, a couple of days ago, I told you that fateful thing. And it really happened whenever sort of a prime minister says this line. You know when they come out and they're having to defend their ministers, good or bad, and they usually use this line, I have every faith in the ministers around me and they're all doing an excellent job. You know, within a matter of seconds, somebody's facing the axe. Well, the axe didn't fall, but this particular individual, Tulip, the anti-corruption minister, well, she had to resign. Let me explain. Good to see you today. Thank you so much. You know, as they often say, politics is a dirty game. And, you know, literally, 6-7 months in now, since, of course, the Right Honourable Sir Keir took office as our current British Prime Minister, he promised to clean up sleaze and corruption and everything like that. It's been worse than ever under his tutelage, as one can imagine. But, of course, it was this particular problem with this particular lady, Tulip. And it really came to a bit of a headline about 2.5 weeks ago now. And there were the usual sort of rebuttals and stuff like that, all about flats, renting, you know, all manner of things that were going on behind the scenes. And when you are supposed to be the anti-corruption minister, it really doesn't bode very well, does it? That's the problem. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because Tulip's published her resignation letter, as they often do now on social media, basically gushing to our Keir about how marvellous he is and she's going to support him from the backbenchers. Well, we'll see how long that lasts as well, Tulip, sweetie. But the other side of the coin is really this. And this is where you understand how bad politics is on a daily basis, because while we're being told that she's now resigned, and no doubt in the flourish of a moment, at the time of recording this, they'll have found somebody else to replace her. And a little bit like the former Transport Secretary, Louise Haigh, remember her, of the pink hair? Well, she was replaced within seconds and suddenly nobody remembers her. That's what they want in politics. Don't remember the fall guy, right? But here's where it gets interesting, because according to my sources, apparently Tulip, a very close friend of course, the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, well, apparently, according to that source, he has promised her in the fullness of time there will be some kind of return back to prominence. So this is going to be interesting, because clearly, if he's saying as he did yesterday, and the stories are leaking out that currently our Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, could be in the job for the full tenure of the Labour government if they last that long, well, seemingly Keir doesn't like to get rid of loyalty. Yes, and so according to that source, Tulip, after a short while in the wilderness, could be flowering once again as another minister. But really, would anybody want to welcome back the anti-corruption minister, given the shambles and debacle that have now ensued, not just her, but the party that she stood so proud a few months back to represent? And more importantly, where does this now leave her with her own constituency? It doesn't matter where you are in the world, politics is the same. And more importantly, it looks like this particular flower is about to shrink into oblivion. Bye, Tulip. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.